Last night's State of the Union address was the epitome of the reality show State of the Union address, and it was capped by Nancy Pelosi literally ripping up Trump's speech inches behind Trump's head as he was mouthing thank you, to people in the audience in completely cartoonish fashion. So we'll end with Nancy Pelosi ripping up the speech, but that's not where I want to start. So we were live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook during the State of the Union address. And at the start of the speech, I was fact checking. I was taking notes. I was trying to, in real time, correct the lies and distortions of Donald Trump. And about 5 minutes in, I realized there's no point in doing this. There's no point in doing this in the traditional sense. The fact checking here is pointless, number one, because it's just constant lies and distortions and deception. Number two, because what would be the point today of going point by point, lie by lie, given what the reality is right now, very different than what it was in times past in the United States. Either you are in one of three camps. Either you're on the side that knows Trump is lying and you already don't plan to vote for him. You're on the side that knows Trump is lying or suspects that he is, but you don't care because you've convinced yourself, well, all politicians lie, and you're going to vote for him anyway. Or you're on the side that doesn't believe that he is lying. Whether or not you're going to vote for him, fact checking isn't going to convince you. So the point by point fact check is irrelevant in a sense. And I don't mean it's irrelevant because truth doesn't matter. I mean it's irrelevant because you either don't need it or it's not going to affect you. Just as a couple of examples, there was constant deception. I'll give you one. Trump bragged about how tons of people got off of food stamps under his administration. Take a look.
Under the last administration, more than 10 million people were added to the food stamp rolls. Under my administration, 7 million Americans have come off food stamps and 10 million people have been lifted off of welfare.
Now, of course, Trump cut food stamps. So it's not really an accomplishment to say fewer people are now on food stamps. You just cut the program and kicked people off of food stamps. It's like me saying, great news. I was able to get 10 people off of life support today. Isn't that great? Well, did they die when you took them off of life support? Did you cut off life support when they needed it? Or are they now breathing on their own? By itself, saying there are fewer people on food stamps is not an accomplishment. One other example. Trump talked about the number of people now working in the United States is more than ever before. The Republicans love this. And then when it's a Democratic president, they love saying the number of people not working today is higher than ever before. The population of the United States continues to grow with a steady proportion of people working and not working. At almost any point in time, you can say we currently have more people not working than ever before, and it would be true. And you can also at the same time say we currently have more people not working than ever before. And it would also be true. It's meaningless absent any more context. So those are some examples. But our time today is not well spent fact checking a 78-minute speech that was riddled with lies and deception. So I want to talk about the big picture from last night, because that's really what I think matters. The summary, the big picture, is that this was a reality show meant to appeal to the lowest common denominator using props and pawns and reality show stunts. The guests in the room who Trump referenced were, up in the mezzanine, were for the most part guests who had nothing to do with Trump policy at all. They were merely pawns and props. And I know every time we make a commentary like this, some people say, David, you're insulting those people. You're saying they're stupid and they're being used as pawns and props. It's not that simple. If you're invited to the State of the Union as the president's guest, most people go, and to some degree you're a pawn or a prop, but the degree to which this was the case yesterday was sickening. Example, there was a woman in the mezzanine whose husband died in combat some time ago. It's horrible. It's tragic. But it was wholly irrelevant to any Trump administration policy, any Trump accomplishment or lack thereof. It was just a woman whose husband tragically died in combat some time ago. There was a woman in the mezzanine whose daughter was born very premature, and she was thankfully saved by technology that Donald Trump had nothing to do with. It's an incredible story. We're so glad that medical technology is advancing so that more and more babies born premature are going on to live healthy lives. It's great. Has nothing to do with Trump. That mom, by the way, with the premature daughter also went crazy cheering when Trump talked about banning late-term abortions, which of course are incredibly rare, done in unusual cases where they truly are necessary. And again, that woman was a prop of cheering against abortion. And then the just literal reality show stuff. A woman whose husband was deployed to Afghanistan was there in the chamber with her kids. And in literal reality show fashion, a sort of, but wait, there's more. Let's see what's behind door number 3 sort of moment. Trump says, and your husband is not really in Afghanistan. He's here. Come on down. What a surprise. Creating reality television in real time. And then, and we're going to talk about this more, yes, extremist right-wing radio host Rush Limbaugh, recently diagnosed with advanced lung cancer, as we talked about on yesterday's bonus show, was there as an invited guest of Donald Trump's. And surprise, Rush, you have just won the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Melania Trump puts the medal on Rush. We're going to detail that more in a little bit. So then at the end, capping the reality show State of the Union, yes, Nancy Pelosi participated in the reality show. She ripped up her copy of Trump's speech right behind his head. Check it out. And hilariously, you'll hear George Stephanopoulos here in this clip talking about Trump's background in reality TV as Nancy Pelosi rips up the speech.
Absorbing the applause right there. He came out of reality television and he displayed that talent tonight. 78-minute extravaganza that touched emotions both high and low.
So there were mixed reactions to Nancy Pelosi ripping up the speech. Some people loved it as a sign of resistance. Others said that this is childish. It's really a mix. I mean, visually, it was very funny, and I tweeted about it. And it fits very much with the whole reality show vibe of what we saw yesterday. Without real action and leadership from Nancy Pelosi, it's merely a funny visual without any meat or substance behind it. And then the saddest part, of course, of all of this is there will be people to whom this speech really appealed. They saw a soldier's wife and a kid saved by medical technology that Trump had nothing to do with. And they end up feeling good about Trump because it is designed to be emotionally manipulative in exactly the way that it worked on some people. And they'll say, I feel really good about voting for Donald Trump now in November. That is really hard to fight, but we're going to devote more time to that a little bit later. Let's talk now about the Rush Limbaugh thing. Privacy.com is one of our sponsors, and they're giving you $5 just for using their free service at privacy.com/Pakman. Privacy is a service I've been using for a while now. I love it. It saves me a bunch of headaches. It's completely free, and it's very quick to set up. And here's how it works. When you pay for something online or over the phone, instead of exposing your real credit card number, Privacy lets you generate virtual card numbers. The payments are withdrawn from your checking account, but your real card number stays completely private, and you do it all with one click. You can autofill the card number in your web browser, on the phone. You can create 12 virtual cards a month. You can set spending limits, freeze them, delete them whenever you want. I especially love it for free trials where you need to give a credit card number because I can destroy the virtual card number as soon as I give it to the company, and I know I won't be charged in the future. If you're ordering food over the phone, why do I need to give a restaurant my real card number if I don't have to? Companies don't have to know who you are. Your real credit card number is protected from the data breaches that happen, unfortunately, more often than we would like, and it's completely free. They do have a paid version with different tiers where you can create more virtual credit card numbers per month, cashback rewards, extra security features. But go ahead and sign up for the free service. It's a no-brainer. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. You're protected from identity theft. It costs you nothing. And Privacy is giving you $5 to spend just for signing up when you go to privacy.com/Pakman.